Yo, what is up, you guys? Welcome back. If you're clicking on this video, that means you probably already watched our non-spoiler review of Scream.
Or if you watched the movie, you probably skipped that shit.
Yeah, or you just skipped it, regardless. So yeah, here we're gonna talk spoilers. What the fuck? A little cobweb or something. We're gonna talk spoilers on Scream. Talk about the plot and talk about what transpired and where we think the Scream franchise will go from here. To start out, I would like to point out that I was right. And back when we did the trailer review, or trailer reaction, and I said Dewey would die.
Yeah, I thought everybody thought that.
So, I just like to point out.
I think he was the easiest one to kill, especially after watching the movie. You see where he's at in his life.
Yeah.
Gale don't left his ass. I mean, he's pretty much living in a trailer home, not a sheriff anymore. He got relieved of his duty. He just really just chilling. So, I mean, it makes sense why he had nothing really left going for him.
I will say this about
And they give him that closing moment with Gale where he basically talks to Gale and has that moment with Gale. So I think they gave him his farewell.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I will say this, though. I feel like Dewey's character could have been more, as far as a personal connection with the killer, as far as, he takes it more personal. They always highlight Sydney and her struggles and overcoming and all that, her PTSD. But they never really addressed Dewey. Dewey never really talks about the fact that, oh, my sister died by the damn killer. He never brings up her name. I just feel like that would have brought more to the character in some of the I'm not saying for this movie, but just previous films in general. And to see his character killed off, I mean, it was expected, but
I think the fact you never got it because Dewey, Stu killed his girlfriend, right? Billy killed Stu's girlfriend, who was Dewey's sister. But it wasn't the reason why Sydney was different because Sydney was always against her. The killer will always try to get to her at the end of the day. Dewey was just in the way. His sister was just a pawn in the way. It wasn't like those guys were actual. Well, I guess I was her friend,
but you know what I mean. He doesn't take it as personal as Sydney does.
Yeah, but I mean, they killed the killer though. So how do you take it personal? Stu died. Well, and Billy.
But you wouldn't be upset that there would be people copycatting, a tragedy for you, copycatting a serial killer.
At least it's for any character though.
Yeah. Well, yes, but I don't know. It's just damn, that's your sister.
Sydney was always the target. That's why Sydney took it personal because Sydney made more sense because Sydney was always the target. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and I get that. Don't get me wrong. Sydney is the main person, but Dewey, he never even brings up her name. He never brings man, the bastard killed my sister or whatever. They make this holiday a joke or whatever, and I lost a sister to it. And, they just never address it. They did somewhat in this movie because the girl was talking and she was like, I know from your experience, but
even you look at okay, here, look at this then. Look at in this movie the twins, they're relatives of our guy
Randy.
They're siblings of Randy, right? But they watched the films that Randy got. Randy died. You know what I mean? But they still watch the films.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's just in a way memorialized and they're celebrities in a way from that. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have PTSD or anything, but
yeah, I don't know. I just feel
I
feel like Dewey, he could have mentioned or said it oh man, I'm gonna get this son of a bitch, and I'm talking about from previous movies. That's something that I've always felt something that was wrong with Dewey's character because I always was for a guy that was focused on his relationship with Gale and all this shit, you would think. I completely forgot that was his sister in the movie until I watched the first one. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that was Dewey's sister. You just forget shit like that because it's never really addressed.
Yeah.
In any of the sequels.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, we don't. So this movie starts off, and I know I mentioned in the non-spoiler review how this movie was different than a lot of the other Scream franchises in the beginning because, the person that he attacks in the beginning actually survives. She's in the hospital, and usually,
he fucked her up though.
He did fuck her up. Not gonna lie, motherfucker.
That was pretty graphic. He broke her leg, broke her ankle and shit, stabbed her right through the hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That more than what we're used to with Scream. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
But no, that's how Scream always starts out. You think,
we all thought she was dead. Yeah,
yeah.
Because the title card too.
Yeah, the title card, motherfucker slash, and
the title card pops up. You think she dead?
Yeah. So that it was different. I like that. I like that they made a difference in this film.
Yeah.
And then all these characters that we see in the trailer are connected. Clay Jensen from 13 Reasons Why. I don't know the actor's name, but Clay Jensen. His mom is the new deputy or the new sheriff, Judy.
Yeah, it's our thing. I was like, damn, how was Judy in 2011's version? And I was like, oh yeah, she was young. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, because this is like what 20 years after Scream 4.
You talking about our time or their time?
In their time. No, in our time. Hell no. I'm talking
In
about
their time, it's like 2011, 2010. It's like 10 years. They have iPhone.
Wait, are you talking about in this movie? It's 2011.
No, this movie's like 2021, probably. 2021.
Yeah.
But in their movie, it's probably from the fourth movie, it's probably 2011, 2010, around our time.
That makes no sense.
They had iPhones.
But that would make no sense. Why the fuck was Judy hitting on Dewey?
What do you mean? She had no kid time. Clay's probably 17.
That's my point.
Well, she probably had maybe she's separate from her father.
Okay.
Maybe she's separate from the dad.
That's a good point.
Maybe she's separate from the dad.
You see what I'm saying? Though?
Yeah, I understand. Maybe she's separate from the dad. Maybe she liked Dewey, bro.
Yeah, she offered him the Loomis'S squares.
Yeah. A little reference to that too. Y'all probably caught that. Shit was funny. But go ahead, continue.
And so yeah, he's connected with Judy Hitz. You know, that's her son. There's these two twins. You know, black twins. One's played. I didn't know this until the end. I saw the title card. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son. I was like, huh. I wonder. I told you. I was like, I wonder if he's related to Cuba Gooding Jr. And then we looked it up. Turns out he is. He's his son. And the girl, I actually know her because I recently played.
The black guy?
Yeah, I recently played Spider-Man Miles Morales, and her character is Finn, the Tinkerer.
Oh, the actress.
Yep.
So she voices it.
Well, she voices, but they also like she looks
okay.
like in the game. So that's why I noticed that. I was like, huh. So they're basically, well, she's definitely like the new Randy. Like she knows everything about movies and horror movies and franchises and all that. Like she's the big nerd.
But she also related to Randy.
Yeah, she's related to him. Yeah, they're both
related to Randy. They're the sister.
Yeah, Randy's sister. So they're his nephews.
Yeah, you remember they got the same actress to play her too from part 2.
She was in part 3.
Which part 3 or part 2 she says when
she gives them the tape? Yeah, part 3.
Yeah, okay, part 3. Yeah, she's in part 3. You see her for a little bit, a quick scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're related to Randy. I'm trying to think who else. Randy. Is anyone related? Oh, there's this one guy who was related. Wasn't the guy that was trying to talk to a little girl, the black dude's girl. Wasn't he related? He was related.
Was it Stu? I think he was related to Stu. Yeah, he's related to somebody. Yeah.
Okay.
It might have been Stu.
And then the main chick, I know she was from In the Heights, but she was the main chick, and she did a great job in this film, in this role.
Kind of remember Priyanka Chopra, like a younger version.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because the eyebrows are very thick too.
Yeah.
She's attractive, a very attractive woman, but
yeah, I get that. But yeah, she's related to Billy Loomis. Like she's Billy Loomis's daughter.
Yeah.
Apparently, her mom messed with Billy Loomis.
But Billy Loomis was like her love interest, but she ended up getting pregnant by him, right?
Yeah.
She told the dad
that Billy wasn't.
That was that was his daughter. Yeah, not Billy.
Yeah.
Or she didn't tell him that was when Billy.
Which that drove a wedge between her and her sister because she found out, and then her dad ended up leaving.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think who else. Is anyone else related? No, that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah, her sister, who the first victim who survived, she has no correlation with anybody, and then you got that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And the other two are the boyfriend, the
boyfriend, the
black guy's girlfriend, and then the friend.
And the boyfriend.
What boyfriend?
The girl's boyfriend. Huey from Bad Boys.
Oh shit! Yeah, Huey's from.
But he's not related to nobody either. I think.
Yeah. He's the main girl's boyfriend.
Yeah.
So they've actually lived outside of Woodsboro until she finds out her sister's attacked. Which her sister was the one in the beginning of the movie was attacked. She drives back to Woodsboro, and that's how everything kind of connects and everything gets started.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go plot my.
No,
I'm not going to tell you who died and whatnot.
Yeah,
I will say.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say there were a lot of characters that ended up surviving in this one. Surprising. It actually surprised me because in most Scream movies you have maybe 1-2 survivors. I mean, you had the 3. Dewey, Yale, Sydney. That's how it usually is.
Oh no, you got 4 sometimes.
You got 4.
You always got 4 usually.
Is it?
Dr. McDreamy from 3, he survived.
Fuck, you're right.
And then in 4, Judy survives.
Fuck, yeah, you are right. So yeah, it usually is 4. This movie, how many? No, it was the main girl, her sister, the twins. That's 4 already. Sydney, Gail.
Damn, you gotta get to that point already? Sydney and Gail? But yeah, okay.
I mean, I said in the beginning that Dewey died. I was going to say that. 6. If I was going to say that, I would have just said, hey, you were right. But guess what? You're wrong. Sydney did survive.
Okay, we're going to get there. We'll get there eventually. Let's get back to this. This film starts off it starts off pretty quick because like we get that and we go right to the girl getting a call by her sister. She and her boyfriend go down there. They're talking about movies, talking about Halloween, talking about different films because he's not a film guy. He doesn't watch horror films. Mm-hmm. And we get to once we get to the hospital, we even get after like 10 to 15 minutes in, we get a scene. We see the boyfriend get killed, or not the boyfriend. That we see that Stu's, I think, relative get killed. Get stabbed in the neck.
Yeah.
That was an easy kill.
I know, right?
It was down.
I was like, dang.
We see him go down, and they played the song from the first movie. Remember the.
Yeah, I know.
That shit was tight. I was like, oh, paying homage to the original. That was tight. They kill him, then we get to the hospital, and we see Maggie, old girl's just taking her medicine, and she gets attacked right away in the hospital.
And before that, she looks in the mirror and she sees Billy Loomis, which he's actually in the movie, like, through what's it called? They de-aged him a little bit,
yeah.
And he's kind of like in her head, like he's talking to her, like
she's like seeing, like he's like they're gonna find who you are, and at this point, I think everybody's like, oh shit, who's she related? Like Billy Loomis, where's the connection? But we eventually get there, and she tells everything and shit like that, and we find out that Billy is her father. And it's like, oh damn, okay, it's getting interesting. And it made her story connect more. I thought. She also did a great job. I felt like we didn't, look, I love Sidney Prescott, and I love Gail, but we didn't, low-key, she was carrying the role. I was cool with just her. Like, I wasn't even, craving, where's Sidney Prescott at? Where's Sidney at? Yeah. I was good with just her and her boyfriend going around trying to figure things out, and Dewey came along, but she did a good job carrying the film for most of it. Because Sidney Prescott, you guys in the non-spoiler, we don't see Sidney Prescott till about halfway through the movie's almost over.
Halfway.
Yeah, we see Sidney Prescott fine. We see Gail Weathers around the same time actually.
Yeah.
So they're not ruining the movie, which I like because it didn't rely on Sidney Prescott and Gail and Dewey to save this film and make this fair and get the film popping. They didn't rely on them like, hey, these are our heroes. They actually really did go with the younger people that they brought in. Like the younger cast is like your heroes, which is cool because I think it would have been bad. I think it's bad. I think some franchises do this sometimes where they bring back old characters, but then they have these new characters trying to include also, but the new characters take a back seat.
They continue relying on the old characters.
Yeah, so if new characters just there, it's like, okay, they're just here, but they don't do anything. So I like how they actually push the old characters, like the OGs, to the side and say, hey, let these young cats handle it. We'll bring y'all in when we need y'all. That was dope. So she did a great job carrying the role, man. I was very pleased with it. And it led me to think Sidney was going to die. And it led me to think that. I really felt this is going to be the end for Sidney. And then I was like, oh, don't kill Sidney. Please don't kill Sidney. But I wanted Sidney to die. That makes sense. I was like, I don't want her to die, but I do want her to die because we got to move on. Mm-hmm. And I thought this is how they set this film up with the other girl taking the main lead. I'm thinking, yeah, Sidney's exposable now. We can get rid of Sidney.
You know what's funny? I felt the same way in Spider-Man when I was watching, when Tobey Maguire got stabbed at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, I low-key want him to die, but I don't want him to die,
Yes.
Because it made sense to move on from his character because you established
exactly, and that's how I felt about Sidney. I felt that same way about Jamie Lee Curtis in the Halloween film. I feel like to have these characters, to make Scream, Ghostface, Halloween, any of these characters to live on, you have to get off of these iconic characters that are connected with them. You know what I mean? Like we should be able to look at Ghostface without Sidney Prescott attached. We should be able to look at Michael Myers without having Laurie Strode attached. And I thought Halloween's going to do that, though. But for Scream, I thought this was perfect because they already had established a new character who was dope. We liked her. She was fierce. She kind of had some Sidney Prescott. She was fierce. She fought back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She had her own little backstory that was kind of fucked up in a way.
Yeah.
So she already had dealt with some shit. So you know what I mean? Like, her character made sense. So if you want to push this franchise forward, not saying they do or they don't. If they want to push this franchise forward, it would have been easy to just, okay, this is our main lead now. You know what I mean? And I thought they should have killed Sidney off. I thought you could have killed Dewey and Sidney and left Gail because Gail's a writer. Gail could have told the story of Dewey and Sidney and the whole legacy of them and been good.
Good point. Those are actually good points. I respect that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
No, and you know, that's something I was saying when I was talking about, like, I don't know what they're going to do with the franchise, because they did establish the old girl as the new main character. So I don't know if they make sequels, what could continue with her story. I don't know exactly what you can do besides, you know, kind of copycatting, you know, 2, 3, and 4, where it's just, you know, a continuation. I don't know what else you can add that's new. That's why I felt like this one felt like it was right to end, but at the same time, if they did continue, I mean, they could continue with the new girl, but I just don't know how they would do it. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know what? Honestly, I didn't see them getting to this point. I mean, I don't know what I would do for the story next, but I didn't see them getting to this point. I thought before you were done.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of people who thought after 3 it was done. Like 3, because 3 tied back to 1, so they were like, okay, this concludes it all.
Yeah, this perfectly correlated one real back in, because it brought Billy Loomis'S family back in. It brought Stu. It brought us back to the house, the original first. I think this is the last one, honestly. I think this is the last one because how they ended. Like, this movie ends same way 1 ends, with Stu's house and the you know, police going through, yellow tape up. It ends the same way like the first one began. So it just feels like this is like the closure, the climax of the story. Yeah. Which it is. I'm cool with that for the next 20 years, and they want to bring it back in 20 years and redo it or do something different with it. You know, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where they would go with from here, but I didn't expect them to go with this route anyway. When I saw the Billy Loomis, I was like, oh shit, okay. You know, I took a little twist, and then I see like the related, like Randy having the nieces and nephews. Like, oh shit, okay, cool, this is different.
Which I actually want to talk about that point, because that's the point where I was like, oh shit, because you know, Scream. I feel like, you know, when you're watching it as a fan or just a fandom of movies in general, you try to take it personally because you feel like they're talking about you when they address these movies.
They were talking about us.
This movie, they were talking directly about us because they were talking about fandom and how fandom, you know, kind of gets upset, you know, when certain franchises do this act, and whether it's a reboot or recast or
I'm sure if Kathleen Kennedy was watching this film, I'm sure she took that personally and said, "Oh, they talking about my ass."
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, like, because the one girl, you know, Randy's niece, she's talking about you know, that this movie is, or the new killings. She's basically saying like the killer is trying to do a requel. Yeah. Which is a new word that I might start using.
Yeah, that's the word now for me.
Yeah, that's the new word when all these new movies come out. It's a requel. It is a reboot plus a sequel, because it starts the story over. You know, maybe it takes aspects from some of the old movies, like Halloween. Halloween starts over, but you include some of the new characters from the original franchise. Same thing as Star Wars. Sort of the same thing as Jurassic Park. I mean, they list a lot of movies with that regard. And I was like, oh my God, I feel attacked. I feel personally attacked by this movie. It
made sense though. It made sense though. Like what they were saying, like, hey, you fucked up when you got rid of all the hard work that was created that made these fans love this film. I felt that. I mean, we all felt that way about Star Wars and other projects. Like, I think everybody's felt that way about some kind of project.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it made sense to say, I was like, okay, I'm hearing this. I'm listening. I mean, I'm understanding what they're talking about.
And even like the beginning, because old girl, when she's on the phone, and it does feel like that's how, you know, the new younger generation is towards horror movies, because they asked her like what her favorite scary movies were, and she was talking about Babadook, The Witcher, or not The Witcher, The Witch. I'm trying to think. Hereditary. Yeah. Like, she was naming all these new age classics. Like, no, she didn't talk about the Scream, Halloween, you know, Friday the 13th, and that's kind of how it is nowadays. If you ask any of like these, you know, younger teens what their favorite horror movies are, they will say those instead of the 90s slasher films. And, you know,
that's anything. You say what's your favorite, what's your favorite, like, movies in general? Like, most of them will say Marvel and shit like that.
But that's what I like about it, is that it shows that the movie ages with us.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
It ages with the times. Mm-hmm. So that's why I really fuck with that as well. I don't know what else to talk about.
I would say also to add on to that, I think it's always a privilege when, like, if I was a director of a horror film, and when if Scream mentions your film, it's kind of like a privilege. Like, when they brought up Jordan Peele, it was like, that was tight. It's like Jordan Peele's, you know, we all know what he's done for horror, especially with basically giving a facelift for horror back in 2015. But seeing like Jordan Peele be brought up, and Babadook and Hereditary, all these films are like 2015 up. Right. Seeing these films get brought up, it's like, oh damn, like, it's always like a paying homage to these films. You know what I mean? Like, even like 2014's Scream, they mentioned some films in that time also. So it's always dope when they pay homage to those films. So
Right.
it's always like a nod, like a tip of the cap, like, hey, y'all doing y'all thing out here in horror. But I agree with Deon what he said, man. Like, this franchise I think this franchise can never really. You can always try to bring it back because this franchise has always been based around more than just. It's not like Johnny brought Bruce Wayne card. It's never been based off just one killer. Like Michael Myers is Michael Myers, Jason's Jason.
It's transcendent.
It's transcendent based off the person. You know what I mean? The different people, that family, or want revenge, or just fans that have lost
on Reddit or something.
Yeah. So you can always like push this character forward. What Donnie says is probably one of the scary characters people can actually really do this if they wanted to. Not saying you should, don't do this, but you can actually this is actually something that can be scary because somebody can actually go and do this. So like I get that too. So that's why I think Scream's is a classic franchise and it's been around for so long. It keeps on getting the nod for more. And I enjoyed it, man. I can't knock. I enjoyed it. I wish the only thing I had a problem with two things. First, I had a problem with the Sidney Prescott not dying. I think that's the perfect opportunity to kill her. I love Nick Campbell, but I thought it was time. Even though she had them kids and everything, I thought, it makes it even more emotional. I to make it more heartfelt. I wanted that though.
Okay.
And my other thing was, man, I get this is a horror trope, but them damn hospitals, man.
Yeah, what is up with that, man? Like,
I get a horror trope. It happens in all horror films, but they use the hospital 3 times.
Have you ever walked inside a hospital and seen it that empty?
No, I ain't never seen that shit. No.
Never.
No.
Never. What the fuck, man?
No.
I'm tired of them. And it's
a horror trope. I'm cool with it. It's a horror trope.
But it's like why shoot it in a hospital? Why
it's a horror trope. It's a horror trope. It's a horror trope. It's like the dumb girl or the dumb person who walks in there knowing the damn killer might be in there. They say, "Oh, I'm going by my side. I got it."
But like,
or the person says like, "You guys go ahead." He tries to fight, or the girl tries to fight the damn killer.
Well, I get that.
It's horror trope.
But even Halloween at least changed that because remember in Halloween 2, Laurie Strode went into a hospital. That shit was empty. But you watch Halloween now, like the new one, Halloween Kills. That hospital was packed.
But he didn't go in the hospital.
But that's what I'm trying to say though. Is like. It's just the setting. But I guess, it ties because if Michael went to the hospital, I'm guessing it would have been empty because that's how horror movies are.
Yeah.
But
I would have been cool if they would do like the first scene when the girl gets attacked at the hospital. I would have been cool if she was just dreaming and slept through that shit and like, fuck. Or something like that. But I get what they did. I get the horror trope of it. It's cool. It's always funny because I see I'm like, damn, there's no way hospital. You can't tell me the lunchroom that damn empty. You can't tell me it's this damn dark up in here. They got no damn generators. But I love it because it's horror. It's why we love horror films because it gives us those moments where we're like, oh, don't go there. Don't be a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Dewey, don't go back there. So I enjoy it. It's always funny. Well, I had to bring it because it's always just funny to me. But Dewey's death. We didn't talk about Dewey's death really. Did you feel it was deserved? Like, do you feel like it was memorable, or do you feel like?
I think it was memorable because it was going to happen. Because you knew it was going to happen, but also it was smart. He was doing the right thing. Like he went to the hospital. I noticed once he got in that car, I was like, "Fuck, he's gonna die."
He went by himself
because he went by himself with old girl because
he was blasted his ass.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But like she noticed, like the person that was working at the hospital was at the crime scene when Judy Hitz was murdered in the film. Which let's talk. Let me. I'll go back to Judy Hospital. Let's talk about Judy Hitz real quick. So Judy. The crazy thing about this movie, she was murdered in broad daylight, like right
in the front of her house,
in the front porch, sunlight and everything, which is different because you don't really see that in horror films where someone's murdered in broad daylight.
Especially on a killer like Scream, who like more discreet.
Yeah,
but he literally saw you. He thought that bitch was what? Get my check the court. Let's take this fucking.
Dang!
It wasn't like he just stabbed her and walked off. He actually stayed there while she was on the damn the path to the house, and he just started stabbing her ass, fucking her shit up. They're like, oh, shit.
I guess those neighbors really did not fuck with you.
They probably saw that shit and said, I gotta turn this motherfucker. I ain't going up out there. I'll call the police.
Yep.
And then seeing Clay Jensen get fucked up. I thought that son would watch his mom and see his mom like, oh, fuck, my mom's dead or something like that and push him. But nah, he dies too. Yeah. And they did a good way, like trying to like, oh, it's coming. Oh, no, it's not coming. Oh, it's coming. No, it's not coming. And eventually it comes, but you're like, oh, I expect him to die. So like, not that moment, because his mom just died. I'm like, okay, they're going to show him seeing his mom dead first, then we'll go back to him. But nah, they knocked them both out back to back. But seeing that shit, man, seeing Judy die, I was like, damn, man. And you know what? That's another thing about like when you have these kind of films that are like connected and stuff like that, you really do grow with these characters. Like, I like Judy from 4. Like, I like Judy's character. I thought she was cool. Like, I mean, she was a rookie cop and shit, trying to, learn to do it and shit. But like, I liked her character. So seeing her die, like, oh, fuck, they killed Judy, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's how I feel with a lot of horror films. But like, seeing the connections, always like, damn. That's how I feel about Judy Greer also.
Because even Scream 3, I was like, damn, Cotton Weary died. Like,
Exactly.
He was...
Or when Randy died. When Randy died.
Yeah, Randy, everybody hated when Randy died.
Yeah, Randy got fucked up.
That was
yeah, I like
we don't like talking about.
But Randy, yeah, but it is, when you got these iconic characters and you see them, even though Judy was only in one movie and she probably wasn't the main character, but you know she did survive. You know, wear the vest, save your chest. But seeing her die was kind of like, oh man, damn, I took the wind out of myself a little bit. But
yeah. But you know, Dewey goes to the hospital, helps the little sister out, and you know they all go in the elevator. Dewey's like, no, I got to make sure, like, I gotta shoot the head, which is smart because I mean, you know, you leave the scene, motherfucker just gets up. That's how it usually always is. Dewey wanted to make sure, hey, I'm gonna finish this motherfucker off. Because he's learned from previous movies. Shoot for the head. That's been the trope since the third movie.
Never did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've always came back after the first movie, but they started shooting for the head in the third movie because, you know, that one was crazy. When he was just like, like just, and then finally shoot for the head. Anyway, so Dewey tries to shoot for the head, and then he's interrupted by a phone call, which is from Gail, and then the killer ends up getting up, stabbing Dewey. Right, I'm pretty sure in the, you know, stomach area. Then he stabs her right in the back, which the back is, you know, that's where Dewey was stabbed in the original, which fucked up his nerve damage, which is why he kind of has the limp in future movies. So it was like, damn.
He said, I'm gonna make sure this motherfucker die this time.
Yeah.
But I will say this though. I didn't like that Dewey checked that phone because Dewey's too seasoned for that. He's too much of a veteran for that shit. He should know better. He's a vet, bro. Yeah. Dewey's a veteran, bro. He should know. He's been in four movies. He's on his fifth movie, man. He said he's been stabbed over 9 times. It's time for Dewey to know what the fuck going on.
But don't you ever notice how, like, Dewey, like, he's always, like, playing this good, like, he's a good cop up until, like, Gail, like, he fucks with Gail, like, he sees Gail, that's what makes him, like, start to be more vulnerable, and, like, he doesn't think rationally, you know? So I think, like, that's something that
maybe.
Gail.
I wish to change that scene. The only thing I would change about it, I wish Sidney, Prescott, and Gail were there. Like, come up the elevator, they see Dewey fucked up. I wish they would have saw it. That'd been tight.
Like, seeing him get slashed in the kitchen, and then just seeing the killer run away.
Like, that'd be tight. I like to see him get killed. Because the Gail seen the body bag was like, okay, damn, man, he dead. But I go there and hit the same way. And it was so funny, bro. Dewey's a soldier. I thought Dewey might still be. For some reason, I thought maybe Dewey gonna walk out this bitch like he did the second movie.
He survived a lot more.
I like Dewey gonna make it out this bitch. He always makes it out for some reason, but he was dead though, man. And you know, I knew once we saw Dewey on screen for the first time, that man drink at the bottle and shit. He looking fucked up. He like he ain't bathed days. He live in a trailer. He like this man lost Gail. He's still watching her on the news. You're like, damn.
This is probably gonna be it for him.
Yeah. And I kind of gave him his closure though, okay? So he had that scene with Gail where he's talking to him, he's like, you know, I fucked up, Gil. I should have stayed in you. I should have left in the middle of the night and shit. I should have stayed there with you and, you know, made it work and stuff like that. I thought Gil just left his ass. But then
she usually does, but yeah.
But that would have made sense after the fourth movie, how, like, you know what I mean? Like, that connection after she got stabbed and shit. I thought that, you know. But, you know, seeing Dewey go out was sad. Gail, I never thought was going to die. I didn't think Gail was going to die. You can't kill off Gail. Gail, you kind of... That's true. I thought Gail had been perfect to carry the stories and stuff, but... Sidney died. Sidney living also. I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Yeah. Shout out to Sidney Prescott, D. Campbell. Always love her on screen, man. Always has that presence. Especially, she's probably one of the most iconic after Jamie Lee Curtis.
Survivors.
Survivors, yeah.
Because she really fights back. Shit, she be kicking niggas, having them flying 5 fucking staircases after kicking them and shit.
Yeah, talk about right quick before we get off. I know about get off this thing a little bit. What about the killers? Who are killers? What do you think about it?
Okay, so that's what I was going to address now. So we get to the end of the movie. You know, it's in Randy's house because one of the friends.
Stu's house.
Or Stu's house. No, it's
Stu's.
Fuck, you're right. Yeah, Stu's house.
They're having a party.
Having a party. One of the girls, one of the friends, her family bought it. So you know, we get to the end, and it turns out that the friend, I don't know who the actress is, but she ends up being the killer, and Huey from The Boys, you know, the boyfriend, he's the killer as well. Now, the one chick, once I started getting, you know, towards the middle of the movie, or I would probably say around the beginning, because how she felt towards the sister at the beginning of the movie, I was like, you know what, she's giving me killer vibes, because she always has this, like, bitch face, or, like, you know, I don't know, I just got killer vibes from her.
Yeah.
So when that ended up coming true, I was like, damn, I'm really good at this. You know, this ain't bad. You know, in some of the previous installments of Scream, I've actually done a really good job of guessing the killers. You know, in the show, I know the first season I got that right.
Second season was tough. I didn't expect that second season.
The second season had me for a loop. The first season I did I realized that Piper, or is that what her name was, the news reporter. I knew she was the killer. She was too involved, and she was always asking questions and shit, and trying to know Emma too much. The fourth movie, I knew what's his name was the killer, played by Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Yeah,
I knew he was the killer.
Really?
Yeah, I knew he was the killer. I don't know how, but it just seemed
like that man was winning too. He's got a old girl too. He was winning.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I won't say like I guessed it at the beginning with him. With him, it took till about close to the end when he stormed off after old dude interrupted him and Hayden Panettiere getting it on. So I knew he was the killer then. And then I'm pretty sure the other ones I didn't really know.
I think that's one thing about the Scream franchise is that like even though you might think you know the killer is, you're always hesitant because you're like, damn, that's too easy. You know what I mean? Same thing with Billy Loomis. Billy Loomis, you probably would have thought, oh, this motherfucker gotta be a killer. But it's too easy. It's like, damn, that's too easy. It can't be him. So that's how I felt throughout the movie. I was going back and forth. And I kind of felt how the main character felt. The main character goes through moments where she's like overthinking in the way like, man, can this be a killer? Can this be a killer? And I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, damn, man, could that be a killer? I don't know anymore. Yeah. So,
well, also because this movie, it does a good job. And just like a lot of Scream movies, like you said, they try to throw you off. Like there's a scene where her and her boyfriend are talking to Dewey, and Dewey's like, don't trust him because usually it's always the boyfriend. So you're like, okay, maybe it won't be, maybe it won't be the boyfriend in this one. Mm-hmm. And it ends up being that. And I just feel like that's.
Well, 4 wasn't the boyfriend, remember?
Yeah, 4 wasn't. Yeah, that is true. Right, yeah. So it's always like that where you think it's either him, and then in the movie they address like, oh, I suspect it's him. So then when they suspect it's him, it's like, okay, I don't think it's actually him. But then it ends up turning out to be him. Or maybe it doesn't turn out. That's what Scream, it just really fucks with you as far as guessing who is it and who's not. Yeah. As far as the girl, though, she was acting real crazy towards the end. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, she really is psychotic.
Yeah, man, I thought they did. I thought the people, their motive, I thought worked.
Yeah, go ahead and explain their motive, Javante.
They were just fans, bro. Yeah. They were fans. It was fandom, bro. They said they fucked up all the damn movies. They said, we're going to get back to the original. We got to get motherfucking Hollywood. They said Hollywood got weak with these goddamn, without storylines. They don't know what the fuck they want to do anymore. So we're going to take them back and give them something to write about. You know what I mean? So that was their motive. It was pretty much about fandom and like, hey, Hollywood have lost its touch. We got to give Hollywood something to look at. So seeing that, I mean, I understood it. And then we get to the point, and Sidney gets stabbed. I'm like, oh shit, Sidney just got stabbed. This is my guy.
Again.
I'm thinking Sidney dead this time. They ain't kill her though.
She been through so much worse.
But then old girl gets fucked up and gets hit with she gets hit by Gail Weathers, which gets stuck into the goddamn flame.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, this bitch getting
I was laughing though when her and Gail pulled up and she saw a girl run out the house.
Oh yeah, she's like, real or fake? It's fake. Oh, fuck this. Yeah. Boom, 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 and then bitch started blasting, go back to the house. Yeah, no, and that's another thing that's great. These characters that we see that they know the game too well. Yeah. You can't play them. Not like, oh, we've done this 15 times, but we might fall for it. Nah, they know the game. So it's like, Gail still get shot, but you know the game.
And even when her sister like is tied up, she's over here like, unsure whether to untie her.
Yeah, we don't know. You never find out.
I mean, I knew, my God. Come on now. She broke her damn leg. And Scream really running around with the damn, just limping around.
She could have played a part. No, we don't.
What part? Well, that could have been. That actually would have been a nice.
She could have been the third killer.
Like, yeah.
Like the one,
like she kind of just gives.
Yeah.
She's
made sure I knew about her sister's dad and everything. You know what I mean?
Damn. See, that is what Scream does to you. You always fucking questioning shit. They could have did that.
Yeah. But that'd be kind of crazy. You want to do that for the next film, right? It's just Loki did it. But as far as the kills, see the main character, our main character, the older sister, stabbed the fuck out of a little boy, and started fucking him. Yeah. She saw her dad in that picture. She's like. And she grabbed that fucking knife, right to the fucking cheek. What movie was that in also? Right to the cheek.
Right through the cheek?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. That's another movie that did the same thing. But I'll think about that later. But still, she started killing his ass. She started going to town with his ass.
Yeah, she was like, what did she say? She said, you don't fuck with a serial killer's daughter or
something? Yeah, she started going, cool. Started going crazy on him. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. But, yeah, man, it was tight, man. And then seeing, they get the scene like Donnie said, oh, there can't be no more kid. We got shoot in the head, get it over with. She over there, boom, 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 blast his shit a couple times. Well, he going, and then the other chick comes out of nowhere, sister blasts her. Yeah, fucking other sister blows her ass, and then we get to our end credits, and we get that Gail, that Cindy moment with the old girl saying like, "Hey, do you ever get over this?" She's like, you know, you learn eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was nice. Like I said, you could have killed Sydney and pushed the story with her.
I don't know. You know, if they did another movie, I feel like next movie would be nice to kind of kill Sydney if they did it.
No, that's too late.
Because they could always do it like how they did Cotton in Scream 3, where like it's the opening scene and Sydney's talking on the phone, motherfucking, and
that's not the same,
you know?
bro. Because Sydney, you can't kill Sydney. That'd be like Halloween Resurrection when they killed Jamie Lee Curtis at the beginning. It don't hit the scene. You can't kill at the beginning and say, okay, we're going to move rest. Let's move Adam. They gotta die. Sydney should die in that final act.
I don't know, but if you kill him in the beginning, then when you're watching the movie, you're kind of like, oh fuck, anybody could die, you know?
Not really, because I know, okay, now Sydney died. Okay, okay, I guess technically you're right. I get what you're saying. But I would have rather seen Sydney go out this final movie because this new girl was still trying to find her way. Having Sydney have that last moment with her, Sydney's telling her like, yo, eventually you'll find your way. Like eventually it gets easier. So she's like, have that moment, she's like, eventually it gets easier. And Sydney dies, some shit. This girl has that to live off of and base that shit off of her. You know what I mean?
Hell no, Sydney don't hit that dramatic death. It gets easier.
I'll quote that
She
shit.
don't die like old girl.
Oh, how do Jamie Lee Curtis gonna die?
She don't die like old girl from
How do you think Laurie Strode's gonna die? You gonna be just a fucking or you just be like a fucking icon when she's telling her granddaughter like, yeah, nigga. So I thought.
Yeah. Hey.
But this shit was fire, man. Any last words you got? I'm trying to think anything else I want to think of.
You know, repeat what I said in the non-spoiler. This movie, I'm definitely going to have to watch a few times. I still think the first and the fourth one are my favorites. But this one is definitely better than the third one, so I don't know if it's better than the second one. I just got to watch it again a few more times to kind of have that full definitive ranking.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still enjoyable. I feel like if you're a Scream fan, you'll still enjoy this
There's
movie.
some humor in it also. Small moments of humor. Not too much, but
true.
small moments.
Scream's always kind of had that.
I like how the girl at the end said, yeah, take me to a different hospital. I'm like, yeah, at that point, I gotta find me a new hospital outside Woodsboro. Fuck bitch. But go ahead.
So I mean, I don't know if you're a fan of slasher movies, I feel like you'll enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't feel like this movie is terrible. Like I don't see how anyone can say it's terrible, especially when you watch the third movie. Like I think it's definitely an improvement over that one.
I think if you're a fan of this franchise, you're gonna enjoy this film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, if you're a fan of this franchise, if you love the '90s slasher films, this is something that fits right in that category. If you love Ghostface, it's tight. Yeah, I think honestly it does a great. I think it's great. I think it does a great.
It does a great job of paying homage, and I feel like it does
while telling a different story as well.
Yes, and it pays good spirits to Wes Craven. You know, the guy who.
Yeah, I did put the Four West again. I like how they put the Four West. Yeah, it did pay homage to Wes Craven and what he created because they basically went with a lot of Wes Craven, even though it's different directors. Went with a lot of Wes Craven's ideas and kept some of his mythology and shit,
and bringing back a lot of his shit from his original movie.
So it was a lot of homage paid, man. That's the best thing you can do, man. When you want to make films like this and redo films or add on these kind of films, you gotta pay homage to the creator because that's what the creators is what got these fans involved and loving this stuff. And if you pay homage, you'll get the fan support. So
yeah,
they got my support. I'm going to see it again for sure. But it was tight.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, man. If they make another Scream movie, I got a cast I want them to put together, but we're gonna talk about that later. But
hell no.
As far as this, man, honestly, I'm a big Jason fan. You guys don't know. I hope we get Jason Priest. I know there's a lot of legal trouble going with that stuff and everything, but I hope we get Jason, man. I hope they expand on that because I've seen what they've done with Michael Myers. I've seen what they've done with Ghostface, and I love to see Jason get his due and then seeing Freddy get his due as well. But you know, I definitely want to see Jason get some love because he is the greatest slasher.
Oh, that motherfucker had 10 movies?
Yeah, he need more love. He's the greatest slasher.
Okay, had 10 movies.
Greatest slasher of all time.
Okay, 10 movies. I'm just saying.
Greatest slasher.
Just 10 movies.
Greatest slasher.
Can we get Scream 10 movies at least?
No.
But yeah. Let us know your thoughts on Scream down below. Your thoughts on the movie. Let us know your thoughts on the franchise as a whole as well. And where would you rank this movie if you had to rank it with all the other Scream movies as well? Let us know down below in the comment section. If you like this review, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and be sure to tune in for more. And also, what's your favorite scary movie? Let us know that down below as well. I would love to hear that. But yeah, that'll be all. I'm DeAndre.
I'm Javante.
And this is Dre and Jay. Deuces.
Take care, guys. You went to a date, Billy!
Sydney! Sydney!